WVMO, the voice of Monona, brings you Silver Eagle basketball. Good evening and welcome to Frank Levac Metrodome. I'm Steve Martinelli in Monona's beautiful high school gym. Tonight, the Silver Eagle boys will take on the Monroe Cheesemakers, a Badger South Conference matchup. Silver Eagles come into tonight's game 3-0 in conference, 4-1 in overall. Their only loss, a season opening tough one against the Neenah Rockets. Monroe comes into tonight's game with some hope. They're 1-1 in conference, 2-2 overall, having won their last two games. This is a team that struggled last year, 3-9 in the conference, 6-17 overall. Next to last, only poor Milton was worse than Monroe last year, but Monroe comes back with a couple of starters, a couple of decent players from last year's team. Senior guards Carter Saudi, who averaged 11 points a game, and Alex Tordoff, averaging 12 a game. Both of them are honorable mention all conference. And they're going to be the main keys tonight. Them and number 11, Brandon Settle, averaging just about 9 points a game. Tordoff averaging 14, Saudi 13 a game. So they've got some starters that can score some points. The only knock against Monroe is they're very short. They're lacking in height. Those three guys we mentioned, none of them are taller than 6 feet tall, I don't believe. See, oh, I take that back. Saudi's 6'2", Settle's 6'2", Tordoff is 6 foot tall. They don't have a lot of extreme height though. That 6'2", 6'3" kind of tops things out for them, whereas the Silver Eagles not only have some good height, as they've shown in the early parts of the season, they got back one of their best players from a couple of years ago who missed all of last season with a knee injury, Mitch Kelsey. Mitch played against the Silver Eagles last game against Fort Atkinson back on December 10th and scored 9 points. First action he's seen in a basketball game in over a year, and he comes out with a bang. He's going to add a different dimension to the Silver Eagle team, who's already got some big scorers. Both the Nelson boys, Max and Caden, have shown the ability to score. Jared Myers lit it up for 10 points. Dan Smith has shown some outside shooting ability. And of course, Jake Schrockenthaler averaging just about 19 points a game for the Silver Eagles. A lot of different scoring sources for MG. Watch for Jake to get the ball inside. And my guess is he's going to have his way with some of these smaller cheesemakers. Tonight's game on WVMO, also streaming live on YouTube, and you can pick it up on Charter 990 here in the area, as are all of our home games. Here to the floor. Their home whites, Monroe in their red jerseys. Silver Eagles snowed out last Friday night against the Wanakee Warriors. They were supposed to play Friday night here against the Warriors, and that game postponed. I don't believe it's been rescheduled yet. Monroe, on the other hand, has had 2 games snowed out. They haven't played since December 6th, so they've been off for 2 weeks, and the team can get a little stale sitting around just practicing for that long. I mean, that's roughly how long you've got at the beginning of the season to get ready. So they can reset and take on these Silver Eagles. Like I mentioned, they've won their last 2 games in a row. That game back on December 6th was against Fort Atkinson Blackhawks, and they beat them 51-42. Silver Eagles' last game was against Fort Atkinson. We beat them by 19 points. In that game, Schrockenthaler had 19 points. He was the difference. I mentioned Mitch Kelsey had 9. 6 for Alec Ogden, Brad Hansen, Caden Nelson. A lot of scoring from different areas. The bright spot in that game for the Silver Eagles was the fact that they hit 70% of their free throws, a high watermark this year. As they run to a 4-1 record, we'll be ready for the national anthem with the pep band here in a little bit. And then player introductions, and then of course a game here on WVMO, the voice of Monona. You can also watch us live streaming on YouTube, and of course a day or two after the game goes live, you can catch it on replay. That's fascinating stuff, listening to me. Obvious disappointment among the crowd because my niece Andrea Martinelli is not with me. She did the girls' game a couple of weeks ago. That was a lot of fun, and I appreciate Andrea coming out for that. Let's see. Yeah, that was the girls' game against Milton. The MG girls are on the road tonight. They're playing, as we speak, at Madison Memorial. Little crosstown rivalry here. We won't see the girls back here until January 10th when they take on the Oregon Panthers. We got a couple boys games between now and then, so we'll mention those, of course. Jeff Kazmarek and the MG Pep Band will play the national anthem tonight. We're just about ready to go with that, so feel free to stand and sing along, hum, do a little dance if you like.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hats, and join us for the playing of tonight's national anthem.
All right, the MG Pep Band with the national anthem. We're ready for player introductions. A little different look here at home for the MG Silver Eagles with Mitch Kelsey back out on the floor. Mitch missing all of last season. He had a good sophomore year, averaging just about 5 points a game and showing some real flashes towards the end of the season. First for the Monroe Cheesemakers, number 10, 6'2" senior, Tyler Zillmer. Number 11, 6'2" junior, Braden Zettel. Number 20, 6'3" senior, Dylan Beaver. Number 15, 6'2" senior, Carter Saudy. And number 25, their leading scorer, 6' senior, Alex Tordoff. So that starting lineup again is Elmer, Zettel, Saudy, Beaver, and Tordoff. Now, Dan Zweifel and his Silver Eagle boys. Number 3, 5'10" senior, Jarrett Meyer. Number 23, 6'3" senior, Mitch Kelsey, getting his first start here at home. Number 33, 6'6" junior, Jake Schrockenthaler. 5'10" junior, number 11, Max Nelson. Number 5, 6' senior, Dan Smith. So for the Silver Eagles, Smith and Nelson at guards, Kelsey, Meyer at forwards, and Schrockenthaler in the middle. Silver Eagles with a decided height advantage, like I mentioned. Cheesemakers don't start anybody taller than 6'3". The Silver Eagles can bring a bunch of guys that big or bigger off the bench. So, 18 minutes on the clock. We're ready to get going here. Schrockenthaler will jump center against Carter Saudy, a 6'2", against the 6'6" Schrockenthaler. There's the toss. Schrock wins the tip, but he gets it to Beaver, and it's Cheesemaker ball. This is Elmer bringing it up. He'll hand off to Tordoff, top of the key, guarded by Kelsey. Kelsey drawing the defensive duties against Tordoff, averaging 14 points a game. They swing it around. Left side, Zettel missing the 3. Rebound, Schrockenthaler. Outlet pass to Kelsey. Mitch on the run, quickly ahead to Meyer, right side. Back up top to Kelsey. Swinging around left side, and Smith into the corner. Nelson. Smith in the left corner now, up top to Meyer. Inside to Dan Smith. Dan Smith called for the charge. A nice move on the baseline and called for the charge, however. So, first whistle of the game, it goes against the Silver Eagles and Dan Smith. Scoreless yet, 17-23. Tordoff inbounds to Elmer. And we're going to get a Nelson foul, a reach in on Max. Second Silver Eagle foul. Silver Eagles pretty aggressive on defense starting out here. They typically get 3 more fouls per game than their opponents. The inbound to Carter Saudy, left elbow. They give it up top to Tordoff, guarded by Kelsey again. Silver Eagles in a man-to-man defense now on the switch. Tordoff drives, kicks it out right side to Saudi. Tordoff missing under the basket, gets the rebound and the putback, and the first points of the game are awarded to the Cheesemakers. 2-0 Monroe, 16:55 to play. Dan Smith, top of the key now, working against Elmer. Up top to Nelson. Right side Meyer, he'll dribble up top and lost the handle on it. I thought Nelson was coming back to the ball. Max was going the other way, and they throw it into the crowd. Silver Eagles usually pretty fast starting. Saudi bringing it up. Give it over to Tordoff. Now left side, Zettel. Baseline, Tordoff underneath. Tordoff for two. Tordoff with all 4 of the Monroe points. 4-0, 16:25 to play in the first half. Max Nelson bringing up for the Silver Eagles. Looking inside for Kelsey. Back to Nelson, top of the key. Misses the 3. Rebound Beaver. Beaver head to Elmer, quickly to Zettel. Tordoff, top of the key. Over to Zettel, left side. Into the corner to Elmer. Out to Beaver up top. Saudi misses the 3. Rebound Mitch Kelsey. Mitch on the run, ahead to Max Nelson. Max looks inside for Schrockenthaler, gets it in. Jake, turnaround left-hander for 2. First points of the night for the Silver Eagles. It's a 4-2 Monroe lead. 16:40 to play. Tordoff driving in, backing in against Kelsey. Give it out to Saudi, to Zettel, to Tordoff. Now they look inside for Beaver. Beaver underneath the basket, nothing to it. Throws it off a Silver Eagle and it'll be out of bounds. Cheesemaker ball. 15:26, a 4-2 Monroe lead. Just underway here. Now Tordoff will inbound. Tordoff gets it into Elmer for 2, and he makes the scoop. 6-2 Monroe. Cheesemakers coming out aggressive, and so far it's working. They have a 4-point lead over the Silver Eagles here early. This is Kelsey trying to go right baseline. Now into the paint, left hand 2 for Mitch Kelsey. Mitch just a gifted athlete all around. He's fun to watch. And we're going to get a travel called on Zettel underneath the basket. It'll be MG ball. Turnover against the Cheesemakers. They lead at 6-4 over the Silver Eagles. Subs coming in from Monona Grove. Sam Hepp in for Schrockenthaler. Hepp, a 6'5" sophomore, seen plenty of playing time, averaging 5.6 a game. Nelson over to Dan Smith on the right elbow. Left elbow now is Hepp. He'll dribble up top, give it to Dan Smith right side. Dan drives into the paint from the free throw line. Can't get it to go. Rebound, Saudi. Saudi quickly ahead to Tordoff. He'll drive, trying to back in against Kelsey. Kicks it back out to Elmer, back to Tordoff. Kelsey all over him. Now Tordoff will have to dribble up to the top of the key. Over to Elmer. Left side, Saudi. He tries to drive to the right side of the lane and draws the foul. Third team foul against the Silver Eagles. I think this is going against Dan Smith, his second. Second one on Dan. He'll come out of the game, and Caden Nelson will come in. Jimmy Tomei will come in. No, Dan won't come out. Max Nelson and Jared Meyer sitting down. So Smith and Kelsey, the only starters remaining in the game for the Silver Eagles. Subs in for Ford Atkinson. I'm going to try and get you some numbers here. Blocked by Hepp. That was Hunter Ward getting that one rejected. Keegan, over number 12, Schumacher up top to Bartlett. 3 ball, Keegan with the miss. Rebound, Bartlett. Out to Keegan, left side. Hunter Ward, left side, tried to drive the baseline, blocked by Tomei. To Schumacher. I swear they substituted all 5 guys here. That makes it a challenge doing my job. Doesn't matter, you care about the Silver Eagles, right? 2-pointer for David Keegan of the Cheesemakers. Left side, Baseline 10-footer, and it's an 8-4 Cheesemaker lead, 13-35. Caden Nelson, top of the key. Tomei up top now. Dan Smith, right side, drives the lane, kicks it over to Hepp. 3-ball, yes! Sam Hepp hitting his second 3 of the season. 8-7, the Silver Eagles back to within 1, knocked out of bounds by the Silver Eagles. It'll be Cheesemaker ball under their own basket. Brad Hansen and Mitch Kelsey back into the game. No, I'm sorry, that's Alec Ogden. Alec making his first appearance. Smith and Kelsey will sit down. So a lot of subs for both teams early on. Keegan, left side, blocked by Ogden. Kicks it out to... Ball bounced around, Bartlett comes up with it. To Schumacher, 2, no. Tipped. Kostrud comes up with it. Missed there by Hunter Ward, and they get a foul called against the Cheesemakers. Their first. Foul on 34, Jonah Tostrud. Just the first one against the Cheesemakers. 8-7 MG trailing, 12:44. Hepp inbound to Caden Nelson. Sophomore and sophomore out on the court there. Those two have been valuable. Caden to Jimmy Tomei, left side. And a whistle. We're going to get a foul against the Cheesemakers. David Keegan of the Cheesemakers called for his first foul. Second team foul, 12:36 to play, an 8-7 MG lead. And Monona with a chance to take the lead here. Keegan Nelson, left side. He'll dribble up top, give it over to Tomei. Back to the left side to Brad Hansen. Try to drive, path blocked, looking inside for Ogden, and he walked with it. They had the right idea, get it to Ogden in the paint, let him take the bunny, but the path blocked. And Hansen walked with it. Now the inbound to Schumacher. Back to number 4, David Keegan, into the lane. Hunter Ward to 42, Bartlett. Bartelt. Really mispronouncing his name here. This is 12, Schumacher up on top. Trying to set something up with the offense. He'll drive into the free throw line. Over to Keegan. 2-3 ball for Keegan. Where did this guy come from? Keegan averaging 4 points a game. He's only scored 8 on the season. He's got 5 already tonight, and it's 11-7. Monroe on top. Caden Nelson into the right corner to Hansen. He'll dribble up top, give it off to Tomei. Tomei trying to drive, spin move in the lane, lost the ball, picked up by Bartelt. Ooh, double dribble there by Schumacher, not called. Gets into the paint. Caden Nelson strips the ball from him. Nice pass to Tomei. Tomei for 2. Beautiful pass by Alec Ogden. Jimmy Tomei's first points of the night. It's 11-9. Cheesemakers on top. They've led the entire first half so far. Of course, they've only played about 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Ward missing the 3. Rebound. Tostrud. Now Ward gets the top of the key, guarded by Tomei. This is Keegan up top. Looking inside for Schumacher. Schumacher trying to back in against Nelson, and Caden fouled him. Nelson called for his first foul. 4th team foul, but they say Schumacher was making a move to the basket, and he gets a couple free throws here. A chance to add to that 11-9 lead. Clang the first one off the back of the rim. All sorts of subs coming in. Everybody but Schumacher and Caden Nelson, it looks like. Silver Eagles bring out 4 of their starters. They've got Nelson, Trockenthaler, Kelsey, and Meyer. Schumacher hits the second one. Now he'll come out of the game. 5 starters back in for Monroe, it appears. 12-9, 10:53 to play in the first half. The Silver Eagles trailing it. Max Nelson taking the inbound pass, and he'll bring it up for the Silver Eagles. Over to Caden, left side, up top to Meyer. Kelsey all alone on the left side. He wants the ball. and he's fouled. Tordoff called for his first foul. Third team foul against the Cheesemakers. So the Silver Eagles, Jared Myro inbound in front of the Monroe bench. Goes deep to Max Nelson back in the backcourt. Max will bring it up again, set up the Silver Eagle offense. Left side, Kelsey. Kelsey, nice move to the basket, left-hander, no, but draws the foul and gets 2 shots. Mitch playing with just a light brace on his right knee. Foul on number 10, Tyler Elmer, his first foul. Kelsey to the line for the first time tonight. He's got 2 points on a field goal. Let's see if he can add a couple more to that and pull us a little closer here. Got to make your free throws. Ogden will come in for Caden Nelson. So big lineup for the Silver Eagles with Ogden, Schrockenthaler, Kelsey. Joining Nelson, Max Nelson, and Jared Meyer. Kelsey's second one coming up. Get us in double figures here, Mitch. Attaboy. Kelsey with 3 points now. It's a 12-10 Monroe lead, 10:27 to play. Saudi bringing it up for the Cheesemakers. Give it over to Tordoff left side. Back up top. Zettel for 3, no. Rebound Kelsey. Mitch has got a big wingspan. This time he goes right side, scoop underneath, gets the basket and the foul. Nice roll off that friendly MG rim. Mitch Kelsey with a chance to complete the 3-point play now. Foul on number 11, Braden Zettel. Kelsey, a unanimous choice all-conference tight end in football, makes his 3-pointer here. Mitch has 6 points. Just his second game back. He's looking pretty good. Now Max Nelson harassing Tyler Elmer, and Jared Meyer blocks one up, slaps that pass up into the bleachers, woke some kid up who was playing Pokemon on his phone. Silver Eagles leading for the first time tonight on the 3-point play by Kelsey, 13-12, 9:55 to play in the first half. Tordoff into the lane, blocked by Ogden, knocked out of bounds. It's Monroe ball. Ogden got way up in the air there. Silver Eagles can play big. Ogden and Kelsey and Schrockenthaler all taller than everybody else, it seems like. Dylan Beaver, a big kid, but he doesn't have the jumping ability, and Ogden or Kelsey does. This is Beaver against Meyer. Looking inside for Saudi for 2, and he draws the foul. His first basket of the night. Saudi averages 13 a game. This is his first points he's gotten. Max Nelson called for his second foul. So Nelson and Dan Smith each with 2 fouls. Saudi to the line for 1. And he sinks it to complete the 3-point play. It's a 15-13 Monroe lead, 9:41. The Silver Eagles had the lead briefly until that 3-point play. Now, Tomey in for Nelson. So really big lineup now with Tomey taking Nelson's spot. Tomey listed at 6'3". Means Meyer's the only player shorter than 6'3" on the floor for MG, and he runs into trouble there. Out to Tomey. Left corner Ogden driving the baseline, puts it up and in. Alec Ogden's first basket of the night ties it at 15, 9:20 to play in the first half. Tordoff in the lane. No, rebound Tomey on the run, ahead to Meyer. Dump it down low to Schrockenthaler, lost the handle on the ball. Zettel comes up with the ball, held on the floor. They're going to give it to the Silver Eagles. 9:03 to play in the first half, tied at 15. Now Kelsey will come out and Caden Nelson will come in. Caden, a good ball handler and shooter, just a sophomore. So the sophomore class pretty talented with Schrockenthaler. Oh wait, he's a junior. Nelson and Hepp. Junior class is pretty good too. Tomey here with the ball. He's one of those juniors. Ogden off the hands of Schrockenthaler. Ahead. Beaver almost lost the handle. They had a fast break. Tordoff for 3. Yes. Or I should say no. Tordhoff with 7 points now, 18-15. The Monroe lead is 3. Tomei bringing it up. He'll hand it off top of the key to Caden Nelson. Caden guarded by Tyler Elmer. Right side Tomei. Long cross-court pass to Meyer on the left. Out to Ogden, swing it around to Nelson. Top of the key, back to Meyer, left side. He'll drive the lane, lost the handle. Picked up by Zettel. He'll give it to Saudi. Saudi dump it down low to Elmer. No, rebound, Meyer. Easy pass, or easy basket there, missed by the Cheesemakers. Nelson, Schrockenthaler, 15-footer, no. They've done a good job keeping the ball out of Schrockenthaler's hands. Now Tordhoff on the run, gets fouled from behind by Jared Meyer. First foul on Jared. So, Hep, Hansen, and Kelsey coming in for the Silver Eagles. Ogden, Meyer, and who else? Schrockenthaler taking a seat. Silver Eagles with a lot of interchangeable parts. A lot of nice size, very athletic players on this roster. Coach Dan Zwiefel's got a lot of mix and match pieces here. He gets an outside shooting guard. They're going to be really dangerous. Right now they got to handle these Cheesemakers. Monroe with the lead and the ball, 18-15, 7:45 to play in the first half. Turnaround by Bartelt, knocked out of bounds by the Cheesemakers. (18-15, 7:42 to play in the first half. Caden Nelson bringing up for the Silver Eagles, down by 3. Tomei left side, up top to Brad Hansen. Into Kelsey, Hep, Caden for 3, Caden Nelson. Caden's first 3 of the game. Ties it at 18, and a 3-ball put up. Waves it off, foul under the basket. So go against the Silver Eagles and put both teams in the bonus. Foul on number 15, Caden Nelson, his second foul. So Caden and Max Nelson, Dan Smith, all with 2 fouls apiece here in the first half. 7:15 to play. And this sends Schumacher to the line. Schumacher 1 out of 2 from the line so far. Missing that one, the 1-and-1. Rebound, Sam Hep. Hansen to Kelsey. Kelsey into the lane. Right or left-hander? No. Doesn't get it. And called for the foul. Kelsey called for the foul. 7:05 to play, a 18-18 game. Monona Grove putting on a full court pressure now. This is Tomei against, who is this, 23, Hunter Ward. Monroe's got a lot of guys who haven't scored yet, and they're getting some minutes here, but not putting up a lot of points. This is Schumacher back to Ward. Ward trying to go left baseline. Puts up the right-hander, no. Tipped underneath the basket, and it's going to be a foul against the Cheesemakers. Nick Schumacher called for his first foul. Both teams in the bonus now. Still tied at 18. Caden Nelson will come out and Dan Smith back into the game. Joining Hep, Tomei, Kelsey, and Hansen. This is Hansen underneath the basket. Brad Hansen. Nice pass from Dan Smith. And Brad wasted no time putting that one up and in. 20-18, the Silver Eagles with the lead again. They haven't led much of this game. This is Hunter Ward, guarded by Tomei. Left side looking in for Schumacher. Against Smith, trying to back in, and he's called for the travel. Now Schrockenthaler will come in, and Brad Hansen will take a seat. Meyer will come in, and Kelsey will sit down. 6:22 to play in the first half, a 20-18 MG lead. Silver Eagles have scored a lot of points this season, averaging almost 64 a game. Kind of slow starting tonight. Smith bringing it up against 34, who is that? Tostrad. Now this is Hep. Left side, Tomei. Up top to Dan Smith. Silver Eagles content to take some time off the clock. We're down to 6 to play here in the first half. Right side, Meyer. Up top to Tome. Out to Schrockenthaler. He'll try to back in. Left-hander, no. Tipped. Rebound, Hunter Ward. Ward's played pretty well. He's averaging 7 points a game and hasn't scored yet tonight. But he's playing good defense and a strong rebounder. This is Keegan looking inside for Schumacher. Up top to Ward, fake the three. Dan Smith comes up with a steal. Smith lays it up, can't get the favorable tip or roll. Rebound to Monroe, quickly ahead, and they throw it away, looking for Keegan at the other end. Oh, Dan Smith had a golden opportunity to lay one up, just rolled off the rim. It's well defended, I'll give him that. So now Tomei will sit down and Caden Nelson will come in for the Silver Eagles. A lot of interesting matchups on the floor here for Monona Grove and Monroe. Hepp and Schrockenthaler, the two bigs in the game. Schrock gets the inbound pass against the full court press. Back to Hepp, and Dan Smith will dribble it up for the Silver Eagles. 5:18 to play in the first half. 20-18, the Silver Eagles on top. Meyer right side. Into the lane, kick it back to Caden Nelson. Left elbow, Schrock in the lane, in the paint. Has it taken away by Tordoff. Tordoff on the run, quickly ahead to Saudi. Saudi gets it to tie it up. Saudi with 5 points now, tied at 20 with just under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Silver Eagles in a tough matchup here. I expected them to have their way with the Cheesemakers. They're doing a good job against Schrockenthaler in the lane. Now this is Smith up top. Runs off the pick by Hepp. Give it over to Caden Nelson. This is Hepp. Left corner, Meyer for three, in and out. Rebound, Dylan Beaver. Ahead to Tordoff. Tordoff into the lane. Saudi underneath. Blocked by Hepp. Tordoff gets the rebound. Beaver underneath for two. Beaver patient, did a nice head fake, got Schrockenthaler up in the air and then went up with the basket. 22-20, Monroe on top. 4:10 to play in the half. This is Hepp right side, up top to Caden Nelson. Left side, Meyer. He'll drive the baseline, put it up for 10, two more. No, Schrock with the rebound and the putback. Schrockenthaler with only 4 points, but that was a big one as it tied it with 22. Under 4 minutes to play in the half. Tordoff bringing it up. Saudi back to Tordoff to Elmer, or Zettel, excuse me. Left side up top to Beaver. Tordoff, left baseline, and he throws it away. Looking for Elmer and threw it away. It's the MG ball, tie ball game, 3:40 to play in the first half. Here on WVMO, the voice of Monona. Streaming on YouTube, Charter 990. All sorts of ways to watch us. Subs coming in for the Silver Eagles. We've got Hanson, Max Nelson, Mitch Kelsey, Alec Ogden, and Sam Hepp on the floor. This is Hanson, top of the key. We got a foul underneath. I think they're going to get Beaver. Yes, they are. First foul on Dylan Beaver. That's going to send Sam Hepp to the line. Hepp with 3 points already tonight. His first trip to the free throw line. Subs coming in. This is Hunter Ward. He'll come in for Beaver. Beaver, the defensive line player of the year in the Badger South Football Conference. Hepp missing that one. Rebound Zettel. Tied at 22, 3:20 to play. This is Tordoff, top of the key. Left side, Ward. Looking for some help. Stolen by Hepp. Hepp manhandled, and he goes in for the dunk. Not before he was fouled by Zettel. I think they're going to say it was before the shot. Zettel had his hands all over him. You could easily call that intentional. See what the signal is here. Zettel called for his second foul. And they call it intentional. It'll send Sam Hepp to the line and give the ball to the Silver Eagles. Sam doesn't get the dunk, but he does get a couple free throws here. Sam just missed a free throw a few seconds ago, gets 2 more now. Oh, come on, Sam, got to make your free throws. Silver Eagles coming into tonight's game averaging just under 60% of their free throws. They're 2 out of 5 so far tonight.
I've seen worse. Oh, yeah. Be called regular fouls. Yeah. And Coach Bassett's still trying to create space.
So Hepp's second attempt is good. He makes that one. 4 points tonight for Sam here in the first half. And it gives the Silver Eagles a 23-22 lead, 3:14 to play. And they'll have the ball from under their own basket. Brad Hansen will inbound for the Silver Eagles. No, he won't. Mitch Kelsey will. Mitch, a tight end in the football team. Like I mentioned, he was a quarterback the year before when he got injured his knee against Madison Edgewood. Now they go inside to Mitch. Left-hander for 2. Kelsey with 8 points to lead the Silver Eagles to a 25-22 lead. 3 minutes to play in the half. This is Saudi. Over to Elmer. Hunter to Keegan. This is Hunter, left side, dribbling up top. Give it over to Elmer, top of the key. Cheesemaker's trying to call timeout. There we get it. Coach Brian Bassett in his first season at Monroe has got to work on his volume. Taking over for Pat Murphy, who had coached Monroe for many, many years. I believe 15, I want to say. Yeah, 15 seasons Pat Murphy coached the Cheesemakers. Now Brian Bassett taking over in his first year. Well, Monroe handing one of the Silver Eagles one of their rare losses on the football field this year. Beating Monona Grove 10-7 in that game. Alec Ogden, the only score for the Silver Eagles, a 75-yard touchdown run. He had a good game passing, but Silver Eagles just unable to keep much going against the Cheesemakers as Monroe ran the ball. Where is my numbers here? 62 times in that game. That's a staggering number of runs. 25-22, the Silver Eagles lead. Nice alley-oop pass to Carter Saudi. Saudi with 7 points now. Brings the Cheesemakers to within 1. Sam Hepp up top of the key to Kelsey. Right side, Tomei. Tomei up top to Hepp. Back to Tomei. And we got a whistle under the basket. I think they're going to get Ward. Hunter Ward called for his first foul, and that'll send Alec Ogden to the line for the first time tonight. Alec with 2 points already. Alec missing that one. Rebound Saudi. Saudi will bring it up. Looking underneath for Keegan, but knocked out of bounds by Kelsey. Minute 54 to play. A 1-point MG lead. Monroe will have the ball under their own basket. Now Meyer will come in for Kelsey. The two defensive players of the year on the floor right now, Meyer and Beaver. No, Beaver's on the bench, I'm sorry. In the gym, how's that? Meyer the defensive back of the year, defensive player of the year. Beaver the defensive lineman of the year. Saudi 18-footer, no. Rebound Meyer. Tomei bringing it up for the Silver Eagles. Minute 37 to play in the first half. Hansen left side into the corner to Hepp. Up top to Ogden. Right elbow is Hansen. Over to Tomei up top. Right corner, Meyer to the free throw line. Out to Tomei. 3-ball from the left. No. Tipped. Tomei can't get a hold of it. Saudi ahead to Tordoff and can't quite get it. Overthrows him. It'll be MG ball. Tordoff on the receiving end of that one. Couldn't reel it in. He was a second-team all-conference wide receiver. Couldn't catch that one, though. Don't they have their quarterback on the team here? Yeah, Tyler Elmer, number 10, was quarterback. Honorable mention pick at quarterback and punter. Of course, the best quarterback in the conference was number 25 for the Silver Eagles here tonight, Alec Ogden. Ogden had a fantastic record-setting season for the Silver Eagles. 25-24, Monona with the ball in the 1-point lead. Hepp to Dan Smith, left side. Tomei looping it into Schrockenthaler, left-hander, no. Rebound, Saudi. Saudi, a second-team all-conference defensive back. Beaver on the right side, looking for some help, working against Schrockenthaler. He's to the free throw line, looking inside for Tordov. Tordov working against Tomei, can't get it to drop. Rebound, Sam Hepp. 30 seconds to play, and a timeout called by the Silver Eagles, 25-24. 30 seconds on the clock. This first half is winding down here in WVMO, the voice of Monona. MG boys will be back here Thursday night when they take on the Little Chute Mustangs. I had to look that up. I had no idea who Little Chute was. Even had to check and see where they're from. Little Chute's up near Appleton. I'll try to get some more details. And despite what my football broadcast partner said, their new team nickname is not the Ladders. Little Chutes and Ladders. That'd be funny though. If you get that joke, that says something about you. If you didn't get the joke, ask Mom to explain it. If you didn't like the joke, keep it to yourself. All right, coming out of the timeout, Silver Eagles have Schrockenthaler, Meyer, Max Nelson, Dan Smith, and Caden Nelson. Three of our best shooting guards out on the floor, plus Meyer and Schrockenthaler, two big rebounders. Meyer right side, up top to Schrockenthaler, swinging around to the left to Caden Nelson. Dan Smith into the lane, back to Caden. Caden checking the clock, 14 seconds left, 12 seconds. Dan Smith with the ball, top of the key to Meyer. Swing it to Max Nelson, just right of center. Max, Dan Smith inside to Schrockenthaler. Schrock up, no, can't get it to drop. The putback is good, and that's the buzzer ending the first half. Jake Schrockenthaler with the basket, giving the Silver Eagles a 27-24 first half lead. We'll be back after a bit to talk about the first half and finish up this game here on WVMO, the voice of Monona. Also streaming live on YouTube, I'm Steve Martinelli. Stick around for the second half. Silver Eagles lead the Monroe Cheesemakers 27-24 at the half. Welcome back to the second half of Silver Eagle basketball here in WVMO. The Silver Eagle boys leading the Monroe Cheesemakers 27-24, hoping to complete a sweep tonight of the Monroe teams earlier this afternoon. Monona Grove freshmen beat Monroe. Monona Grove freshmen beat Monroe 44-26. And the junior varsity won 47-38. Let me run down the scoring in the first half for you from Monroe. Their two leading scorers, Carter Saudi and Alex Tordov, doing just what they're supposed to do, leading them with 7 points apiece. David Keegan coming off the bench, chipping in 5 points. His season high is 5, so he's had a good first half and done some damage against the Silver Eagles. Monroe 2 out of 4 from the free throw line. The Silver Eagles only 3 out of 7 from the line. Be nice if they could pick that up. Scoring-wise for the Silver Eagles, Mitch Kelsey, and it's only his second game back, leads the way with 8 points in the first half. 6 points for Jake Schrockenthaler, 4 for Sam Hepp, 3 for Caden Nelson, and 2 apiece for Jimmy Tomei, Brad Hansen, and Alec Ogden. Like I mentioned, the Silver Eagles hitting only 3 out of 7 free throws. After tonight, the Silver Eagles will be back here Thursday night when they take on Little Chute. And then they're on vacation for a while. The boys don't play again until December 30th at Menominee Falls. The girls playing at Madison Memorial tonight, they're playing in a tournament at McFarland High School. McFarland, Lakeside Lutheran, and Economawalk playing a holiday tournament starting on the 27th. We will see the girls back here on January 10th when they take on Oregon. I mentioned that. After the game against the Little Chutes and Ladders, the boys will be playing here at home January 6th against Madison Edgewood Crusaders. And it's favorite teacher night. That's always one of my favorite games, when the players get to be introduced with one of their favorite teachers here at the high school. I can tell you who my favorite is, Juliet Darkin, an English teacher. She's so smart and such a nice person, beautiful daughter. And I'm just a little biased. Juliet is my niece. She's been my niece for many years. Long-standing niece relationship. Anyways, back to the basketball game. The Silver Eagles off to a slow start. Monroe led for a good chunk of the first half. Monroe Grove just turning it on later on in the game. Big surprise tonight is Jake Schrockenthaler with only 6 points. I expected Jake to really work hard against these guys inside, but they're doing a good job shutting him down. You know, nothing against Jake. They've done a lot of good keeping the ball out of his hands. The coach is having words with the team, including Jake. He got a slap on the butt. Let's see if this inspires him to greater things. 27-24, the Silver Eagles leading. I'm Steve Martinelli here at Monona Grove High School on WVMO, the voice of Monona. Hopefully you're watching us on YouTube sometimes. Be ashamed to think we go to all that effort and nobody watches. And sorry we don't have the camera cam tonight. Kids are trying to work this up and wasn't quite ready to go tonight, but we're going to try and have that ready to go in a future game. All right, the Silver Eagles starting the second half with Meyer, Smith, Schrockenthaler, Kelsey, and Max Nelson. Their same starting five as before. This is Saudi right side. Out to Zettel into the lane. Zettel for two. His first points of the game. Zettel comes in averaging 9 a game, and that's his first bucket. Brings him within 1. Right side, Schrockenthaler to Kelsey in the lane from the free throw line. No, tipped. Schrockenthaler gets the ball back, goes up to the hoop and draws the foul and will get 2 shots. Good aggressive paint play by Kelsey and Schrockenthaler. Zettel picking up his 3rd foul. First trip to the line tonight for Schrockenthaler. Perfect on that one, 7 points for the big man. So somebody lit a fire under Jake. He gets pretty aggressive early here in the second half. Schrock hits them both. He has 8 points. 29-26, the Silver Eagles back to their 3-point lead. 17:20 to play in the game. Saudi bringing it up to Elmer, back to Saudi, back to Elmer. Elmer up top to Saudi, looking inside for Zettel. Beaver going baseline, and he's fouled by Schrockenthaler. Schrock got him on the wrist, and Beaver will go to the line for 2. First foul on Schrockenthaler. Beaver to the line. Beaver scored 2 points all season, a chance to match that right here with a couple of free throws. Clangs that one off the rim, so that 2-point record is safe. The season high won't increase on this shot. 17:06, a 29-26 lead. Beaver misses that one. Rebound Kelsey. Kelsey, a very gifted athlete. He'll bring it up for the Silver Eagles. Hand off to Dan Smith, top of the key. Smith, right side to Meyer. Up top to Kelsey. Schrockenthaler to the left. Up top to Smith. Dan into the lane. Dumps it off to Meyer. Thought about the 3 at the left side. No. Rebound Elmer. Excuse me, that's Saudi with the rebound. Saudi to Zettel to Tordoff. Tordoff in the left corner. Elmer up top, swinging around right side. Zettel for 3. So Zettel with no points in the first half has 5 to start the second half here. Tied at 29, 16-19 to play. Up top is Max Nelson. He'll dribble to the right side, give it to Kelsey into the lane. Mitch for 2. Kelsey in double figures for the first time this season. Just his second game back, and he's already got 10. Zettel thought about the 3 again from the same spot as before. Now Nelson slaps it away. And they're going to say knocked out of bounds by Tordoff. Excuse me, Saudi. They're both a couple cheesy maker looking guys. Nelson up top, go right side for Meyer. Meyer in the right corner looking for some help, goes up top to Dan Smith. 15:45 to play, 31-29, the Silver Eagles with the lead and the ball. This is Nelson, right side to Meyer. Meyer drives towards the free throw line, back to Nelson in the right corner looking for Schrockenthaler, and he lost the handle on it, out of bounds, Monroe ball. Silver Eagle paint game, not particularly strong tonight.
Here come the cheesemakers.
I expected to really take advantage of their size versus this much smaller Monroe team. Zettel, cross-court pass to Elmer. Tordorf blanketed by Silver Eagles. Now Max Nelson will pick him up top of the key. He'll go to Zettel right side. Cross-court pass to Elmer. Looking inside for Tordorf. There's Saudi, and Saudi picks up the foul. Dan Smith getting called for his third foul. Saudi to the line where he's 1 out of 1. Chance to tie the game here if he can hit both these free throws. There's the first one. Saudi with 8 points now in the game, 31-30. Smith and Meyer will sit down. Caden Nelson, Jimmy Tomei will come in. Saudi's second free throw coming up. Good as well, ties it at 31. And Schumacher coming in for Monroe, and Saudi will take a seat. Schumacher, a 6'1" senior guard, sophomore guard, excuse me. Nelson bringing it up. Tomei, jump pass to Kelsey, and he tries to do a no-look pass to Schrockendollar, and Jake missed it. Jake will go take a seat, and Sam Hepp will come in. Kelsey, a nice drive to the hoop and a beautiful pass, but Schrockendollar clearly not expecting it. Tied at 31, just under 15 minutes to play in the game. Silver Eagles got a game on their hands here. I think they expect a little easier time against Monroe, because Monroe's had their struggles here early in the season. They're 2-2, but they're basically a 500 team so far. They've given up 2 more points than they've scored. Zettel for another 3. And it's a 3-point Monroe lead. Zettel hitting a couple of threes here in the half from the right side. Kelsey going baseline. Kelsey, that left-handed shot is working very well. He's got 12 points, a new career high. It's only a couple years of varsity play. Now Zettel from the other side. Nope, rebound Tomei. Tomei ahead to Kelsey. Mitch up top to Sam Hepp. Hepp back to Mitch Kelsey. He'll take the 3. No, tipped. Knocked out of bounds, they'll say it's Monroe ball. 34-33, Monroe on top, 14:03 to play in the game. So the Silver Eagles working hard against these guys, but Monroe not willing to give up easily. Schumacher bringing it up against Caden Nelson for Monona Grove. Left side, Elmer working against Max Nelson. Looking inside for Tordorf, all alone under the basket, and he rolls it in. Tordorf with 9 points now. 36-33, Cheesemakers on top. Tomei, left side, right side, left side to Kelsey. Into the paint, spin move. Tried to pass it. Stolen by Schumacher. Beaver picks up the loose ball. He'll dribble it across the timeline and hand off to Elmer. Left side, Zettel. Inside to Tordorf. Back to Beaver. He drives the lane. Right hand scoop. No, rebound Hepp. Sam Hepp, a nice jumper. He had that dunk called back earlier this year. Left side, Max Nelson into the lane. Block. Kelsey for 2. Kelsey's hit the deck a couple times tonight, but he's having fun. Elmer for 2 as the Cheesemakers answer. They hang on to their 3-point lead, 38-35. Tomei puts it up and draws the foul. I think we're going to get Elmer for 1, yep. That'll send Tomei to the line for a couple. Elmer called for his second foul. Jimmy Tomei to the line. Jimmy with 2 points. This is his first trip to the line. Chance to pull us to within 1 here, 12:45 to play. 38-35, Monroe on top. Ooh, not a pretty shot there, Jimmy. All right, Ogden, Hanson, and Caden Nelson coming in. Kelsey, Max, and who else is sitting down?
like we've got Ward, Keegan.
All right, Tomei to the line, trying to make his second one. Nope.
Keegan with the rebound off that free throw.
Keegan with the rebound, Monroe with the ball. This is Schumacher right side.
About 12 and a half minutes left.
Up top to Saudi.
Over to Tostred.
34, Tostred. This is
Over to Keegan.
Keegan. Keegan's first appearance of the second half. He had 5 in the first half. He was hurting us bad. Schumacher top of the key, guarded by Caden Nelson. He'll step back. 18-footer for Schumacher, his first basket of the night. Coupled with a free throw, he's got 3 points. It's 40-35, 12-12 to play in the game. Monroe with the lead. Tomei up top. Ogden, handoff back to Tomei. Tomei into the lane, left hand, no. Ogden almost took that rebound away from Tostred. Instead, Keegan will bring it up for the Cheesemakers. Right side, Ward. Up top to Schumacher. 11:45 to play. Cheesemakers with a 5-point lead, the biggest they've had in quite some time now. Schumacher, 3-ball, no. Rebound Ogden. Caden Nelson bringing up for the Silver Eagles to Tomei. Thought about the 3. Back to Caden. Caden drive the lane, and he draws the foul. Schumacher picking up his second foul. Schrockenthaler will come in for Hepp. Dan Smith will come in for Caden Nelson. Silver Eagles go with a big lineup. Ogden, Tomei, and Schrockenthaler in the front court. This is Schrock getting the inbound pass to Dan Smith up top. Right side, Ogden. Smith up top, drive the lane. Tomei, left side three-pointer, no. Rebound Schumacher. He'll bring it across for Monroe. 11-11 to play in the game. Bartel to the left side, right side. Tostred to Schumacher. Up top to Saudi. Saudi drive the lane, lost the handle, picked up by Schumacher. Tostred blocked by Schumacher. Hansen ahead to Ogden. Alec lays it up and in. No, it misses. Rebound Tostred, and a foul call on Schrockenthaler. Oh, I thought there was a foul on one of the Silver Eagles in the midst of that play, but no whistle. Schrockenthaler called for just his second foul. Unfortunate, though, the Silver Eagles had a golden opportunity and couldn't convert any points. Now Meyer will come in for the Silver Eagles. Meyer, Hansen, Smith, Schrockenthaler, and Ogden for MG. 10:40 to play, and a 40-35 Monroe lead. Saudi, what was he doing there from the free throw line? Looking inside, stolen by Meyer. Quickly ahead to Ogden. Ogden to Smith. Dan for 3. No. Tipped. Rebound Tostred. Saudi will bring it up for the Cheesemakers. Saudi guarded by Hansen. Over to Schumacher, right elbow. Up to Ward. Almost stolen by Ogden. Ward into the paint. Runs into trouble. Saudi. Bartel to Ward for 3. No. Rebound Schrockenthaler, and they're calling Schrockenthaler with a foul. There was nobody near him, I thought. He went straight up after that one, and Schrock picks up his 3rd foul. I got to question that one. He'll take a seat, as does Brad Hansen. As Max Nelson and Mitch Kelsey come into the game for MG. 40-35, 9:56 to play. Keegan will come in for Bartel. Schumacher inbounding to Keegan, left side. Bartel. Ward. And Ward, they're going to call a foul on Mitch Kelsey, and Mitch can't believe it. Kelsey's second foul.
And now to the line to shoot is Hunter Ward for the Cheesemakers.
Ward to the line, making his first. Hunter Ward's first points of the game makes it a 41-35 Monroe lead, 9:50 to play. I believe this is the biggest lead of the game at 6 points. Ward makes it even bigger at 7. Now Sam Hepp will come in. And Alec Ogden will sit down for the Silver Eagles. See if Coach Sleifel can find the right combination here. He's got Max Nelson, Dan Smith at guards, Kelsey, Hepp, and Jared Meyer with the ball there in the front court. This is Hepp, left side up top to Dan Smith. He'll try to drive, tries to draw the foul. Instead, there's a foul on the floor. Foul on 3 for Jostred. His second foul. Fourth team foul against Monroe. Now Kelsey will inbound. Hepp to Smith up top, inside to Kelsey. No. Kelsey comes up with a loose ball, goes right back up with it, tipped again. And Ward takes it out of bounds. It'll be MG ball. Silver Eagles with a chance to get back some of these 7 points. They trail at 42-35. 9:25 to play. Sam Hepp inbounding from Monona Grove. Max Nelson up top for the Silver Eagles, directing the offense. Sam Hepp left side. Sam up top to Mitch, swinging around right side, Jared Meyer. Back up top to Dan Smith. Dan into the lane. Back to Nelson up top. Meyer left side, right side. Up top to Hepp. Good ball movement by the Silver Eagles. This is Nelson. Into the lane. Left-hander, no. Rebound, Hunter Ward. Saudi will bring it up for the Monroe team. 8:50 left. 42-35, biggest lead of the night for Monroe. Keegan for 3, no off the front of the rim, rebound Dan Smith. Both teams have gone cold shooting-wise. Mitch Kelsey trying to go left side baseline, behind the back pass to Hepp. Dan Smith for 3, good timing for Danny to hit one, and a timeout called. Boy, the Silver Eagles needed that. Dan Smith's first points of the game, a three-pointer to pull them within 4. 42-38 with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. Well, last year Monroe ended their season at Mount Horeb with losing in regionals, 67-64. Of the players we've seen here tonight, Saudi had 10 points in that game, as did Tordoff. Jake Kind, we haven't seen him at all. He's a returning player on the bench. He had 9 points. They really only lost Ben Latimer, an second-team all-conference pick, and Brent Edmonds, a solid performer. They had a lot of players coming back from last year's team, like I mentioned, Saudi, Tordoff. Some good players. And hoping to steal one from the Silver Eagles here tonight. Last year when these two teams played, the Silver Eagles won both of them. We'll talk more about that the next time out. 8:30 left in this one. Let's take care of business here first, right? 42-38. MG boys down by 4. Monroe will inbound under the MG basket. Tordoff. He'll have Schumacher come back to help him. Silver Eagles with Kelsey Meyer, Max Nelson, Dan Smith, and Sam Hepp. Zettel, left side up top to Tordoff. Tordoff trying to spin move into the lane, runs into trouble. Now he needs some help. Could have been 3 seconds up top to Zettel. Zettel to Tordoff, left side. Good job by Kelsey defending him. Schumacher, left side. Saudi for 3, no, tipped, and we're going to get a foul going back the other way. Zettel called for it. Zettel called for his 4th foul. Zettel scoreless in the first half, has 8 in the second half, including a couple of threes. Fourth foul on Zettel, so he'll take a seat, and Hunter Ward will come back into the game. 8:01 to play in the game, a 4-point Monroe lead. Dan Smith bringing up for the Silver Eagles. Smith looking for Schrockenthaler and threw it out of bounds. No, they're going to say touch by Hunter Ward last. All right, we'll take that. So Schrockenthaler, Hepp, Kelsey, Smith, and Max Nelson on the floor for the Silver Eagles. Dylan Beaver will come back in for the Cheesemakers. They inbound to Schrockenthaler, up top to Smith. This is Sam Hepp, left side. Up top to Smith again, inside to Kelsey. Turnaround 10-footer, no. Schrockenthaler with the putback. Nice roll for Schrock. He's got 10 points tonight, and it's a 2-point game. Monroe with the lead, 42-40. They look inside to Beaver. Beaver not a shooter. Tordoff for three. Nailed it. That was a big shot. Tordoff's second three of the night. Makes it 45-40, 7:24 to play. Max Nelson right side, up top to Dan Smith. Back to Max. Max runs off a pick. Hepp inside to Schrockenthaler. Jake for two more. And he draws a foul. Jake with 10 points now. 12 points now and a chance to get a couple more. Carter Sauty called for just his first foul. He's played a lot of minutes. They have just that one foul. Schrockenthaler 2 for 2 from the line so far. 3 for 3 as he completes the three-point play. 45-43, just a 2-point game now. With 7:11 to play. Mitch Kelsey will sit down. Kelsey, an enthusiastic player. I like the way this kid has fun on the floor. Jimmy Tomei giving him a breather. Tomei, Hepp, Schrockenthaler, Smith, and Max Nelson. Beaver. Nope, rebound Tomei. Beaver just threw it too hard off the backboard. Tomei down the floor, Dan Smith, right side, kick it up top to Hepp. Dan into the Sam into the lane, tipped back out to Smith for three. No. And Schrockenthaler called for the foul there, reaching over the back. Tried to tip that one again, went to the well once too many times. Fourth foul on Schrock. He started the game slowly. He played a good chunk of the first half without any fouls, and now he's picked up his fourth. Mitch Kelsey will come back in his place. 6:46 to play, a 45-43 Monroe lead. Schumacher will come in for somebody. Beaver. Wise choice. Beaver's not much of an offensive player. Strong guy on defense, but not a shooter. This is Sauty bringing it up. This is Elmer. Looking inside for Tordoff. Tordoff fouled. I don't know if they're going to get Kelsey or Tomei for that one. Jimmy Tomei called for his first foul. Good, he's got one to give. Tordoff to the line. His first trip to the line tonight. He has 12 points already, averaging 14 on the game. Tordoff makes that one. 46-43, 6:34 to play. Monroe hoping to steal this road victory against the Silver Eagles. Monona Grove hoping to hang on to that share of the Badger Conference South title. Tordoff hitting them both. Back to a 4-point lead, 6.5 minutes to play in the game. 47-43 Monroe. Smith over to Tomei, right corners Nelson. Max will bring it out and give it to Tomei up top again. Tomei, Max in the corner, three ball, no. Rebound, Hepp, can't get it to go. Sam gets the putback basket though and draws the foul. Good hustle there by Sam Hepp. Sam with 6 points now and a chance to add on to that with his free throw. A foul on number 10, Tyler Elmer, his third. Sam Hepp to the line. Hepp 1 out of 3. Sam averaging 5.6 a game. He's got 6 now tonight. See if he can tack another one on here and pull us to within a point. 6:13 to play. Sam Hepp's three-point play attempt coming up. Yeah, baby. Sam hitting his second free throw of the night. It's a 47-46 Monroe lead now. 6:10 to play. Excellent game. Sauty, right side. Tipped. Max Nelson comes up with it. Max to Dan Smith, right side, inside to Schrockenthaler against Beaver. Kick it back to Max Nelson. Caden for three. No, Schrockenthaler with the rebound, and Dan Smith mangled. Oh, they're going to call a jump ball. I thought Dan got hammered on that one. I thought Schumacher was all over him, but the ref says it was a good defensive play, and the possession arrow goes to the Silver Eagles. Mitch Kelsey in for Max Nelson. And a timeout called by the Monroe Cheesemakers. I promised I'd talk about last year when these two teams met. Wasn't close either time, honestly. MG winning the first game back January 17th of last year, 63-44. The big three for Monona Grove, Miles Thomas with 21, Luke Nelson with 13, Peyton Miller with 9. On the Monroe side, Tordoff had 14, Ward had 10, Kine had 7, Saudi had 6. Then they played here at MG on February 6th. Silver Eagles a big winner on that night too, 75-58. Miles Thomas once again with 18 points, 17 for Luke Nelson, 13 for Miller, Chris O'Connell with 8 points, and Schrockenthaler with 7 points. Monroe led in that game by Ben Latimer with 25 points, 23, excuse me. They inbound it to Schrockenthaler. The Silver Eagles a chance to tie or take the lead now. Hepp for 3, no, rebound Schumacher. Hurried that one a little bit, 47-46, a 1-point Monroe lead, 5.5 minutes to play in the game. Schumacher against Caden Nelson. Caden not giving up anything on defense here. Dylan Beaver, left side. Beaver trying to drive the baseline against Schrockenthaler, nothing doing there. Jake shuts him down, now he needs some help. He gets it out to Zettel, top of the key, over to Schumacher, left side, handoff to Elmer. Guarded by Dan Smith. Good Silver Eagle defense here. Tordoff for 3. Tordoff getting credit for the 3 there. What do we got? A whistle stopping play.
3-point shot. It was good. Looks like
Tordoff hitting his 3rd 3 of the game. I don't know if that one was actually a 3. I thought he was on the line, but they give him credit for it. It's a 50-46 Monroe lead. All right, Saudi will come in. And Elmer will sit down. Silver Eagles down by 4, 4:55 to play. 50-46. Schrockenthaler up top, Hepp left side, up top to Dan Smith. Dan into the lane, dump it to Kelsey, back to Smith. Baseline drive. Hands off to Kelsey for 2. Mitch with 16 now. Zettel for 3. Zettel has been on fire. That's 11 points in the second half. 53-48, 4:25 to play. Hepp, left side, Kelsey. Mitch trying to drive, blocked by the Cheesemakers. Hepp, cross court to Smith on the left side. Looking inside for Schrockenthaler, kick it out to Caden Nelson. Caden will take the long 3. Boom, baby! Caden's second 3 of the night. 53-51, 4:05 to play. Tordoff to Schumacher. Back to the right side is Beaver. To the free throw line, looking inside for Zettel. Zettel fouled by Hepp, and he'll go to the line for 2. Zettel had a baseline drive, and Hepp clipped him as he went by. That'll be the first foul on Sam Hepp, and it'll send Zettel to the line, his first trip to the line. Zettel playing with 4 fouls, you'll remember. 3:51 to play, a 2-point Monroe lead. Zettel with a chance to add to that with a couple of free throws. Langs that one. That's his first free throw attempt of the night. Now Jared Meyer and Max Nelson coming in for Caden Nelson and Sam Hepp. Sam unhappy with himself. Zettel's second trip to the line now, or second free throw attempt. 3:51 to play, and a 2-point Monroe lead. Zettel's free throw attempt is good. Gives Monroe a 4-point lead, 54-51. Smith bringing up for the Silver Eagles. Right side, goes left side, Meyer into the corners, Max Nelson. To the lane, Mitch Kelsey at the free throw line, he'll back it up now. Guarded by Zettel inside to Schrockenthaler. Back to Max Nelson, back to Schrock, right hand shot. Gets the rebound, the putback, no. Zettel with the rebound. Gotta make those, gotta make them. Zettel will hand off to Saudi, picked up on defense by Max Nelson. This is Elmer, guarded by Dan Smith, tries to drive the lane. We got a little bump and a foul. They're going to call Dan Smith for a foul on that. That's Dan's 4th. I mean, there was a little contact, yes, but I didn't think it was enough to qualify as a foul. Now Tyler Elmer to the line. Elmer missing that one. Rebound Schrockenthaler. Kelsey ahead to Meyer in the left corner, inside to Schrockenthaler. Kick it back to Dan Smith for three. Dan can't get it to go. We got a foul underneath. I think they're going to get Tordoff underneath the basket against Meyer. That'll send Jared to the line for 1-and-1. Boy, some interesting foul calls here in the game. Exactly 3 minutes to play. Silver Eagle subs ready to come in. 54-51. Tomei will come in. Sam Hepp will come in. Schrockenthaler and Kelsey will sit down. They join Meyer, Dan Smith, and Max Nelson. Jarrett Meyer to the line. He's scoreless tonight. His first trip to the line. This would be a good time to hit a couple, down by 3. Both teams in the bonus. Now Jared Meyer's first free throw attempt. That was Bush League. Misses that one though. Rebound Tordoff. Somebody screamed as he was getting ready to shoot. That's pretty tacky. This is Saudi guarded by Max Nelson. Under 3 minutes to play. Saudi trying to go left side, now back to the other side. Blocked by Meyer. Just took that right out of Saudi's hands. Meyer, a fine defensive player. Dan Smith, right side baseline out to Hepp. To Tomei. Into the lane, spin move. Gets the basket. And the timeout called. Jimmy Tomei with a nice strong move to the basket. He's got 4 points, makes it a 1-point Monroe lead, 54-53, 2.5 minutes to play. Boy, we got a good one here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, moms and dads, dogs and cats, pigs and whistles. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play in this one, a 54-53 Monroe lead. Looking to avenge earlier losses tonight. Both the JV and the freshman lost. The Monroe JV and freshman lost. Now Monroe facing the MG press. Hepp, Ogden, Caden Nelson, Jimmy Tomei, and Dan Smith in the game for MG. Full court, trapping pressure. This is Tordoff with the ball. Oh, and Dan reached in. Oh, and said a bad word. Dan, watch your mouth. That's going to be Dan Smith's 5th foul, and he will take a seat. That's too bad. One of our better three-point shooters. They'll bring in Max Nelson, and Schrockenthaler will come in for Ogden. So Dan Smith will take a seat on the bench with 5 fouls. Fouls all with 3 points. Just that big three-pointer here in the second half for Dan. 2:23. So Hepp, Tomei, Schrockenthaler, Nelson, and Nelson. Tordoff hitting his free throw. He's hit 3 in a row. I've got 18 points for Tordoff. Misses that one though. Rebound Caden Nelson. Caden will bring it up for the Silver Eagles, trailing it by 2. This is Max up top. Right side to Tomei, into the lane. Dump it down low to Schrockenthaler. Schrock can't get the basket to go, but draws the foul at least. Nice move by Tomei to the basket and dumping it down to Schrockenthaler. Foul on number 20, Dylan Beaver, his second. Schrockenthaler to the line. He's 3 for 3 from the line so far tonight. 4 for 4. That was a big one. It's a 1-point game now. 55-54. Mitch Kelsey ready to come in for Schrockenthaler. Can't get it to drop. Rebound with the by Ward. Tordoff bumped by Tomei, no foul called. Stolen by Schrockenthaler. Ahead to Tomei. He lays it up. No, Schrockenthaler, the putback for 2, and the Silver Eagle lead. 56-55. 16 points for Schrockenthaler now. Minute 45 to play, a 1-point MG lead. Boy, there could have been a foul call in there somewhere. Now Tordoff draws the foul. Tomei called for the block. Jimmy Tomei picking up his second foul, sending Tordoff to the line. Tordoff, a dangerous free throw shooter. He's 3 out of 4 already tonight. Both teams in the double bonus, so Tordoff with a couple free throws coming up for Tordoff. Oh, misses the first one. That was big. He still has a chance to tie. Kelsey coming in for Jared Meyer. So Kelsey, Tomei, Schrockenthaler, Hepp. The only guard in the game, Caden Nelson, the sophomore. Big lineup for MG. 3 bigs and Caden, the sophomore. Tordoff missed them both. Rebound Schrockenthaler. What a time to miss 2 free throws. Chance to tie the game and he blew it. Minute 33 to play. Caden Nelson with the ball and the 1-point lead. This is Mitch Kelsey. Kelsey, left side, dump it back to Nelson. Tomei in the right corner, and a timeout called. Tomei got himself pinned into the right corner. Coach Zwiefel wisely called the timeout. Minute 21 to play and a 1-point MG lead, 56-55. Well, spectacular nights by Schrockenthaler and Kelsey, but we need them to pull out a little more magic here and put this one away. Doesn't help that Dan Smith has fouled out. Nothing against Dan. He's played a good game, but it'd be nice to have his shooting touch out on the floor. Tordoff killing us, and Zettel. I can't get over Zettel. He's got 12 points all in the second half. Of course, he is playing with 4 fouls as well. And Tordoff, he's just a good athlete. Just an outstanding athlete. 18 points tonight. You can see the athleticism in guys like him and Mitch Kelsey. They get the ball, and the rest of the team has to be aware of it because they've got the ability to score every time. Kelsey having a great game. 16 points, a career high. After missing all of last season and the first 4 games of this one. All right, Silver Eagles will inbound. Kelsey doing the honors in front of the MG bench. Nelson and Nelson in their guards. This is Max taking the inbound pass. Right side. Trying to dribble some time off the clock. Give it to Caden on the left side. He's up top. Give it back to Max. Trapping Cheesemaker defense. Max into the lane to Tomei. Tomei draws the foul, and they're going to get Beaver for that one. Beaver picking up his 3rd foul. Jimmy Tomei to the line. He's 0 for 2 from the line so far. This would be a fine time to hit a couple, Jimmy. Minute 2 to play and a 1-point MG lead, 56-55. Tomei with 4 points already. Oh. Misses that one. Jared Meyer will come in for Max Nelson. Provide a little defensive push. Ogden into the game for Schrockenthaler. Come on, Jimmy. This is where free throw practice really makes a big difference. Come on, Jimmy. Oh, missed it. And Ogden can't get the rebound. Tordoff comes up with the rebound. Saudi bringing it up for Monroe. Down by 1. 55 seconds to play. Hunter Ward up top to Tordoff. In the lane to Elmer. 10-footer. 2-point. Elmer with 6 points now. A 1-point Monroe lead. Tomei, and a timeout called by the Silver Eagles. 57-56, Monroe with the lead, 39.5 seconds to play. Silver Eagles will have the ball. Possession arrow goes to Monroe. Monroe looking to win their 2nd Badger Conference game of the season. The Silver Eagles looking to go 4-0 in conference, maintain that lead against Stoughton. Silver Eagle girls, I mentioned, playing at Memorial tonight. They got beat their last game. That would have been when? I don't have the date on it. Against Madison Edgewood, 82-52. That was a tough one. Edgewood, one of the cream of the crop teams in the conference, 6-2 overall. The Silver Eagles ladies fall to 3-2, hoping to take that to 4-2 tonight against Memorial. Look forward to seeing them again after the holidays. Tonight it's all boys. And Silver Eagles have their hands full, 39.5 seconds left, and a 57-56 deficit against the Monroe Cheesemakers. Let's make that ride back to Monroe a long one and put this game away here. Silver Eagles will have the ball. See who they bring out. Schrockenthaler, Tomei, Kelsey, Nelson and Nelson. Kelsey will inbound. Kelsey's played a great game. I really like that they've got him back. I knew he would make a huge difference. He'll inbound it to Caden Nelson, top of the key. Silver Eagles need a point to tie, 2 to take the lead. Up top to Kelsey. Left side, Caden Nelson. Swing around to Max. Mitch, left, right corner, Caden. Jimmy Tomei. Into the lane, spin move. Back to Caden Nelson. Caden will take the three. Boom, baby! Caden Nelson, his third three of the night, gives the Silver Eagles a 2-point lead. 14 seconds to play. Zettel for three, no. Rebound, Schrockenthaler, 9 seconds left. And a foul. Tordoff fouling Schrockenthaler. Caden Nelson, the sophomore, with his third three-pointer of the night, 8th of the season. Give the Silver Eagles the 2-point lead, 59-57. Now, with 7.6 seconds left, the Silver Eagles can clinch this if Schrockenthaler can hit both his free throws. Remember, we're in the double bonus. That was the third foul on Tordoff. Schrockenthaler, 4 out of 5 tonight from the line, and a timeout called by Coach Bassett of the Monroe Cheesemakers. Holy cow, a huge three-pointer by sophomore Caden Nelson. The 5'8" guards hit 3 of them tonight. What's Caden's best game this year? Well, this one's obviously best in terms of pressure. That was a huge three-pointer from the right corner. He had 11 points earlier this season against East Troy. Everybody scored against East Troy, it seemed like. The MG put up 89 points in that one, but Caden averaging 6.4 a game. He's really stepped it up tonight, hitting that third three-pointer. And a huge shot at that. That's something when you can see a sophomore that cool. Of course, he had some good rebounders under the basket there. He had Kelsey and Schrockenthaler under the basket looking to rebound. Tomei was there. Tomei with a nice move to the basket, a spin move, found his path blocked, dumped it out to the right corner to Caden Nelson, and Nelson just measured it up and nailed it. Talking to Coach Zwiefel during the football season, he mentioned if he got some outside shooters, this could be a pretty good team. They got some nice size, extreme athleticism. 7.6 seconds to play. Jake Schrockenthaler will go to the line for 2. Schrock, 4 out of 5 from the line tonight. If he can hit them both, he can give us that 4-point lead and lock this one up for us. Here comes the first. Yeah, baby. That's 5 out of 6 from the line for Jake. A 3-point game now, 60-57. Jake can lock this one up virtually by hitting this one. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Now a timeout called. No, they're not going to call a timeout. There's a whistle. 61-57. Silver Eagles have to avoid fouling. Hepp, Kelsey, Caden Nelson, Brad Hansen, and Jared Meyer. Very defensive-minded athletic team on the floor. Monroe trying to get the right combination out on the floor. Tordoff inbounding to Saudi, guarded by Caden Nelson. Saudi throws it to Keegan, and Keegan lost it out of bounds. With 2.2 seconds left, the Silver Eagles are going to win this one. Mitch Kelsey will inbound. They've got a 4-point lead, 61-57. Now Max Nelson will come in. Hepp will sit down. All ball handlers on the floor for the Silver Eagles. Kelsey, the only front court player, the only big. He'll inbound to Caden, and Caden will just hold the ball, and time will expire, and Monona Grove will defeat the Monroe Cheesemakers 61-57. A very exciting game, a low-scoring first half, but these two teams really turned it up in the second half, and Monroe fought hard, but they fall to a very athletically gifted Silver Eagle team. Caden Nelson with the big three-pointer. Caden with 9 points tonight. Let's see, I've got 16 points for Mitch Kelsey, 12, 18 points for Jake Schrockenthaler. Jake getting close to his average tonight. Again, the Silver Eagles with a 61-57 lead. I'm Steve Martinelli. This has been Monona Grove Silver Eagle Boys Basketball on WVMO, the voice of Monona. Thank you so much for watching. You can catch the replay on YouTube in a couple of days. Why not? I do it. It's kind of fun to watch it again. You hear some crazy announcer go nuts. Again, 61-57. The Silver Eagles go to 4-0 in conference, 5-1 overall, as they maintain first place in the Badger South Conference. Thank you so much for watching. Good night, everybody.